Welcome in, beautiful travelers. I'm Maria at Indigo Earth. I'm here to do a reading for our water signs Cancer. Welcome in, Cancerians. Good to have you here. Welcome in, cross watchers. Feel free to swap around the characters as need be throughout the reading. Anytime that you come across this message was the time that you were meant to listen to it. Messages coming through should reflect some aspect of your current situation, as well as some inner knowing. So take what resonates. If it doesn't work, leave it behind. You might also want to check if this is your sun sign, your ascendant sign, your moon sign, or your Venus sign as well. So, and as always, thank you very much for your support, helping the channel grow by liking and subscribing so that other Cancerians can get the messages that might be needed for them as well. It is appreciated and it is honored, so thank you for that. So this is a message for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. These are messages for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. I will have an extended at the end of this video. I will look deeper into the message for you, and we will explore any zodiac signs that come through. So this is for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. Messages for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. Messages for those watching, please. All right, Cancer, here we go. So, overall energy for the reading. We got the Ten of Swords. Something has reached its completion the hard way. Ten of Swords is very cutting. It's like the completion was kind of done for you. Right? It wasn't by choice. It was kind of like there's just nowhere else to go, and it's kind of exhausted its resources, and it's almost like it was kind of forced upon you. So let's find out what this is. Here's your situation. Page of Swords. This is about information coming in. This can also be about learning something, your ideas or your thoughts about something, your opportunity in this. The Fool. Too much in your head. Release and let it go. Trust. How you got here. The King of Cups. May have opened yourself up a little bit too much or too fast. Could have been dealing with the water sign as well. But you may have let your emotional thinking run the course a little bit more than your rational thinking. In other words, you weren't looking at the situation realistically in the way maybe that it was presented to you. You were wishing for, you know how you always have that hope that you look for the best in everybody. You're looking for the best. But what's behind you now, what you've mastered? Four of Swords. That's taking a break, rest, rejuvenation, regrouping. What the universe is co-creating with you. Ace of Cups. Maybe getting in love. This is a core love as well within yourself. You may be learning a little bit about opening up without boundaries as opposed to opening up and loving with boundaries. Loving unconditionally doesn't mean you're a doormat. Because loving unconditionally means you allow others their experiences in this life without interfering. So let's see what's right around the corner for you. The Magician. That's Gemini and Virgo coming through. It's creating a reality. Creating your own reality. Creating your own life. Working your own magic. So, outside influences. Three of Wands. Anticipation. Patience, waiting for things to turn around. This is being also very business savvy. So your advantage in this situation, you got the Page of Swords, so, or Page of Wands, I'm sorry. Being inspired. Being inspired, energy, increase in energy, because over here you didn't have a whole lot of energy. But this influence is gone now. That's past. Now energy is starting to increase again. It's kind of like you're coming out of the cocoon here. Breathing in fresh air. It's giving you a little bit more vitality. Your concerns in this situation, moving through some very difficult emotions, and your future possibilities, Four of Wands. Finding your stability, finding where you want to commit, finding where you want to, your staple, where your staple is. Kind of like this is like your tribe, where you belong. Where you can like make home and stay there, your grounding place. So there's been a disruption here. There's been a slight disruption, a shift. There's been a shift, but I think it's brought in some clarity for you. Now you seem to be wanting to set your sights on something else. Maybe an offer is coming in here for something new for you to start. I think you're like ready to launch. Think you're ready to launch. You may have somebody helped you a little, you know, you may have had some support or some help, some outside, some support or help. So let's see where we go with this, because whatever ended here definitely put an impact on whatever this course of action is here, because you don't want to go back to this. That's your concern. You don't want to go back to that. But you do want to be in a commitment, something committed, whether this is a relationship or a career or just life in general. So let's see where we go with this with you today, Cancer. Let's find out what the Fool is. This could be taking a risk. Maybe you thought about it, thought about taking a risk, but you didn't quite jump in yet. Your opportunity is to take the risk. You kind of got a little mix of everything in here. Which is a good balance to have. So we got the King of Wands. We got the Eight of Cups, and we got Death. King of Wands, Eight of Cups, Death. Could have walked away from a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag. It looks like you've been thinking about it. You finally just took the initiative to do it. Maybe it was a risk on your part because you want things to change. Because somehow this has come to a halt where it just can't go any farther the way that it was going. So let's see what the King of Cups is. This is how you got here. But you took the initiative to move away from something that was no longer working anymore. You had thought about it for a while, and you finally decided just to go for it. So what is the King of Cups? Clarify the King of Cups for Cancer. not going to do that. We got the World. We got the Hanged Man. And we got the Nine of Cups. So, I mean, it looks like something kind of opened up. King of Cups, something opened up. And then it ended. World. Or it stopped. And it got stuck. Wasn't moving forward. And then it opened up again. This may be a cycle or a pattern. Endings and beginnings. And then they get stuck and then they move forward. Because when you got the King of Cups in here, this is like, I mean, this is as open can get. But the King of Cups can also, it has a very hard time expressing feelings. And so feelings, they come out awkward, kind of passive aggressive, where sometimes the emotions can get stuck because there's just so much emotions in there. So, you know, from a different standpoint too, this could just be that there's so much emotions that start to build up, and then it's like you can't get them out, and then they come out all at once as well. But whatever this is, it seems to be a cycle of like stopping, and then boom, it's on, and then boom, it's off, and then boom, it's on. So however that relates to your situation, and the patterns seem to kind of like bring it to a place where it couldn't boom on again. But you took a break from this. You took a break, want to regroup. So let's see what the universe is co-creating with you. It's got the Ace of Cups, new beginning in love. Nine of Wands, Two of Wands, the Hierophant. It kind of seems like this on again, off again really built up some walls here. It took its toll. And you now kind of gained some understanding or some wisdom or some knowledge, maybe going through these patterns or these different like on again, off again, on again, off again. Like you're starting to see, you're wanting to take a different route, okay? Because Two of Wands, you can either stay where you are in what's known, or you can take another road, right? Get out of your comfort zone. Do something different. Get out of your comfort zone. Take a risk. Fool. And this is where you're gaining your knowledge and your understanding about unconditional love. That you can still love somebody even if you're not physically with them. You can still love somebody even if there's no hope for the future. You can love somebody from a distance. Because in quantum physics, there is no distance, right? Quantum healing is, you know, you can send healing energy to somebody miles and miles and miles away. And with particles and waves, it still reaches them. And it's the same thing with love. It's an energy. But you're definitely gaining some wisdom here about unconditional love. And it's going to open up your heart. I mean, you've had a long haul here. 9 of Wands. You know, that's a lot of like really pushing through, perseverance. But now you're just to a point where it's kind of like, I think you've learned too much about the cycle. So let's see what the Magician is. Could have a Gemini coming in, Gemini or a Virgo. But this is really creating what you want, that you're not powerless here in this situation. You may have had to move away from this situation to cause its death and rebirth. You got the 3 of Swords. You're not powerless. You got the 8 of Cups. You got the Prince of Swords, which is the Knight of Swords. Give me one more on this. It gave me 2. You got Death, and you got the Queen of Cups. So, what's right around the corner? You have the power to transform this hurt. You have the power to transform this hurt. You did the right thing first by moving away from the situation or leaving the situation to go towards something that maybe is more fulfilling for you. You have the power to transform the pain and the hurt, the sadness, the loss. You may get triggered. You may get triggered, but you're going to know how to work with that energy. You're going to know how to work with your triggers, to work with that energy, and to bring yourself to a place again where you are able to work from compassion and understanding and empathy. Not that you don't set boundaries here, but this is kind of the transformation that works through pain, sadness, loss, regret, right? You know, you kind of move away from where the memories were or where the pain was being injected, and then you start working with the sadness and the loss. 4 of Swords. It's like peeling back an onion, right? You peel off a layer and there's more layers to heal, and something might trigger it. Something might trigger it moving in, but you're able to transform it. This is also Scorpio energy coming through. You're able to transform it by meeting it. Instead of meeting it with resistance, you meet it, you embrace it. You understand the triggers and you embrace them because they're teaching you about, they're giving you wisdom about what unconditional love is. And here's where your freedom lies. Because you're on your way to something stable. You're on your way to something that's more give and take, more reciprocal of your nature, of who you are. Inspiration is coming in. This is the energy to utilize to work forward here. So let's see what this energy is that surrounds you, the environmental influences. You got the Two of Cups, you got the Nine of Cups. You got the Six of Wands. And you got the Ace of Swords. So you might have somebody who's very connected with you. Could be friends, could be family, could be a sibling, could be sister, could be brother. They're going to help you see the value and the worth through this. They're going to be connected with you. They're going to be connected with you because they want to see you, Six of Torches, Six of Wands. They want to see you do better. They want to see you rise up. They want to see you standing in what's real for you, Ace of Swords. Which means, you know, the Ace of Swords is double-edged sword. You're standing in your authentic truth, which means everything that isn't in your authentic truth has to be cut away, right? It can't be there. It can't move on the journey with you. But you have support around here, and you have the capability to look beyond this and see beyond the horizon. To want something different, want something new. You may be feeling like, okay, now what? But there is somebody significant in your immediate environment, because these are the influences that surround you. Doesn't have to be an intimate partner. It can just be a friend or a best friend. Could be children. Could be, you know, just anybody who supports you. Nine of Cups, who supports you and who wants better for you. And who wants you to live where you're living in your truth. You're creating your life the way you want it. You're not reverberating around in circles after circles after circles. It's either on, it's off. It's on, it's off. It's on, it's off. Because you have the Eight of Cups twice here. You have it in what's right around the corner, and you have it in your opportunity. That's moving towards something that's emotionally fulfilling for you. Something that gives back. Something that offers you the most extensive gifts to be able to bring those gifts out of you. Because if all your energy is going into this situation, all your emotional energy, King of Cups, is going into the situation where it begins and then it ends, it gets stuck, and then all of a sudden it fires up again, Nine of Cups. That's a lot of energy expenditure towards a situation or a person. And your wisdom from this, your understanding from this, is going to start putting that energy back into your core being. Because you've learned something. It had to learn the hard way, but you learned something. So let's see what this Page of Wands is. This is your advantage. Your advantage. Digging into your inspiration and your aspiration. Now it's like back to the drawing board. So let's rewrite this. How do you want it written? Eight of Wands, Eight of Swords. Changing the narrative of your story. Changing the narrative of your story. It's time to talk it out. Say it out loud. So anytime that the self-doubt comes creeping in, or the negative self-talk, or feeling shame, or feeling guilt, it's time to talk back to it. Eight of Wands. It's time to talk back to it, because here's where the inspiration's going to arrive. Because eventually, it's going to drown this out. The Eight of Swords. It's going to drown that out. You're going to be able to rise above this. If you're trying to avoid this, your concern, then this is going to be harder to transform. So, I mean, it's even something as simple as, you know, when the trigger comes, and you feel it, I see you, acknowledge it. I see you, I hear you, I know you're there, I know you're trying to tell me something, and sit with it. Four of Swords, sit with it, and start talking to it. Not go away, or because what you resist persists. It's not talking to it to go away, or, you know, it's okay. I know you're here. I feel you. I'm going to sit with you. I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to breathe it through, let it come through, but I'm not going to take on, I'm here because I did something wrong. Or I'm not going to take on guilt, or I'm not going to take on shame. I'll feel the feeling of it, and I'm going to allow it to pass through, but I'm not going to take on any thoughts about it that do not put me in divine connection with my authentic self. Because I'm coming up out of this. And I'm heading towards my own stability. What makes me happy? Because I do have the power to create this. Magician, I do have the power to create this. Because I took the risk and I did what I needed to do for myself. Even though I had to do it the hard way, I still got here. So bring it on. Let's transform it with love and compassion and understanding for yourself. So who do we got here? We got Scorpio coming in. We got a fire sign coming in. We got Pisces coming in. We got Aquarius coming in. We have Gemini and Virgo. We have Scorpio again. So in the extended, I will look at Scorpio, Gemini, Virgo, Pisces, Aquarius, and I'll probably look at a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag. I'll look at fire signs in general. So we'll look at those signs in the extended and find out their intentions in this reading with you. And then as well as we'll get actions and advice. For those of you not going on, let's get something you can work with. This is from the Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracle deck by Judy Hall. Let's get a crystal for you, something you can touch. Something you can work with the energies, something that will help you through this transition. Whoa, Charoite. Sylvester. This is a very powerful healing stone, wound healing. Charoite provides deep physical and emotional healing, transmuting negative energy. It converts dis-ease to wellness. With its assistance, you recognize that your greatest trauma is also your most profound gift. Accept it with grace. Charoite re-energizes, heals, and integrates dualities, healing past life dis-ease carried into the present life. Deep fears and schisms pervade your being. You may not feel that you belong on earth. Alienation and insecurity lie beneath a deceptively calm surface. You are subtly driven by other people's thoughts and programs rather than your own. Your autonomic nervous system may be malfunctioning. If so, it needs recalibrating. Time to take control. You are undergoing a vibrational change, creating links to higher realities. Visions of past lives suggest ways to redress karma personally and collectively. Here is your healing insight. In accepting the present moment as perfect, you create the space to heal. Your soul path, service to humanity, and healing the wounds of the past. So that's what I have for you this week, Cancer. I hope this helped, and until next time, may the peace that passes all understanding embody the essence of your being. And for those of you going on, the link is below, and I'll see you over there.